V8 Veterans tonight, live from Donnington Park Circuit. We are getting set to go racing for what is round number 9 of the V8 Veterans series. This is going to be fantastic tonight. Looking forward to bringing this one. It's going to be huge. The racing is going to be incredible as well. And tonight, Donnington up and down a fast circuit using the full GP track tonight. This is how they will line up as we're straight into it. Stuart Hall's got pole position tonight. We'll be starting from the front row with Paul Young, Dumbrell and Sharp off the second row, Duggan and Christian Smart. Round 8, your top 6, and it's Friend, Byrne, Ritchie and Favell. Down there in 10th place tonight, Scott Gamble elevated to top split, starts from 11th with Matt Vanderkrant. Down in 12th place on the grid. 13th, Spriggs with Nickel, McCune and Crosby, Varga and Kennedy. Then it's Thomas and Stephen Banks to round out your top 20. Anthony Visma will start tonight from 21st place with Marty Hansen. Then you got Rue Koistra and Michael Stewart, 24th on the grid, 25th on the grid, Damien Cams with Dean Flavell. And it's Dan Hall, Paul Preston, Goosey and Barrage down in 30th place. Jamie McKnight with a penalty, still carrying over from that one race ban, starts from 31st on the grid. Brenton O'Brien, Darren Shannon and Mark Horton right at the back tonight for this top split race for the V8 Veterans from Donnington Park. Let's get set to go racing. Good evening, Will Wilson. Good evening, everyone that's tuning in. After a big night last night with the Pro Invitational Series, I'm back on the mic and getting ready for this one tonight. It is a 250-kilometre race, and we are set to do battle. And hopefully my overlay is reset to RACESTARS TV. Oh boy, it's been a rush tonight to get this all happening. But here we go. The revs rise here for round number 9. Let's wait for the green and let's see them get away. It's Stewie Hall at the front. They get a pretty good start front row. Middle of the pack, someone's going quite slow. I think it was Andrew Ritchie just dropping back a few positions. Everyone else has got away well down towards turn 1 for the first time. And you can see on the outside, I think it may have been Favell just trying to make up a spot or two from what wasn't his best qualifying tonight here up in 10th place. He's now up to 9th. Gamble's made up a position already in the opening lap as well as they head down the hill for the first time. It's tricky, especially on cold tyres, to get this right. Stewie Hall has got away very well for Nova Motorsports. And gee whiz, he's in good form, isn't he? Paul Young for PRA, sporting a new livery tonight as well. Just tucks in behind as they now head up to this, the blind right-hander. It's very, very hard to get right as many of the drivers will end up probably going a little bit wide throughout the night. But look at the train of cars going through on this opening lap. Everyone falling into position. Will this be a circuit that we find it hard to overtake? And we'll wait and see. There's the FRG car of Rue Koistra sitting in 21st place and lining up Stephen Banks as they head down into the braking zone to take us through the left-hander. Now, I think we've been here once before with the Veterans and we didn't use the GP track. We used the shorter track, club track, where it just does a little chicane back on the front straight. Tonight we're using the full circuit, the old F1 track. And there is Stuart Hall heading down now into the final hairpin corner to take you down the pit straight. He's got himself about a 4/10 of a second lead already over Young, Dumbrell. That's your top 3. In fact, the top 7 have held position. Ty Byrne, I think, has just gone around. He's off on the grass, so Ty Byrne's going to lose a heap of positions down the pit straight, and he's struggling to get back up to pace. Koistra and Banks get through on him as well. So Stephen Banks up 3 spots, Rue Koistra up 5 in this opening lap. That's incredible. Good job, good getaway. And Greg Favell up 1. I can tell you Scott Gamble already up 3 spots into the top 8. Now here's a man that was 3rd split start this season, elevated to 2nd split, now elevated up in the 1st split where he rightfully probably would have been from the get-go, but he's a little bit late to get involved this season. So Scotty Gamble looking very, very good tonight, P8, and finding his form once again. You can see behind him Favell, who raced last night in that Logitech Pro E-Series, the Pro Invitational. He wasn't 100% happy with his performance, but I tell you what, he will get into the groove, don't you worry. And Gamble definitely in the groove now as we head down once again to the braking zone. The left-hander, they flip-flop their way through into this GP section. You can see they can take the bollard with them tonight. It doesn't tend to do much damage to the car. And there we go, right up underneath the back. The sun's shining. I was saying it's very glary out there on the racetrack. As we have a quick little squiz at the weather. It's 20 degrees out there, so a nice cool track, 18 degrees ambient. But I was going to say that sun is beaming down, and with the clear sky today, it's 7:37 locked AM. I like that, 737. How did Ben Anthony know? But I've just gone and purchased the brand new MDG 737 for Microsoft Flight Sim. That's what I will be doing this Sunday or Saturday night. I think I've got a night off at last. I'm going to be doing some flights. I might have to get, I think Nick Dumbrell might be on the 7.3. I have to confirm that. He's either a 7.3 or an A320. I'll have to ask him later on and maybe get some tips off him. But I used to do it a long time ago on B3D, and I'm so happy to have that plane now back in Microsoft Flight. Whilst we're talking about this man, Michael Dumbrell, have a look at some webcams tonight. He's up there in P3, so the top 7 have still held the position they started the race in. No movement there at all. We've got a plethora of webcams tonight. Many to go across. We'll head across first of all to Dumbrell whilst we're talking about him. And there he is on your screen now, and he's just holding out Greg Sharp. Sharp just behind him as he gets into the braking zone. Tucks right up underneath. You can see Mark Duggan as well. Gee, Duggan missed the chicane there. He missed the chicane. He got away with it, but he may lose the spot here to Christian Smart, which he does. So Christian Smart gets through and moves himself up another position. There's plenty of smoke in the air, and that was from Greg Sharp and Dumbrell just ahead of him. So it's all happening in this opening lap. There's a shot of Dumbrell's car onto the pit straight, tucked up behind now P2 of Paul Young. He would love to get past him, and he's getting closer and closer as we speak. So the third lap of the race now into lap 4. You can just see he lost a little bit to 12 1,000ths of a second. He lost on lap 3 to Paul Young in P2. They've just got to be careful. Stewie Hall doesn't get away too far. It's 8/10 at the moment, the lead. As we head once again down the hill, you can hear how much throttle work he's having to do tonight. Just balancing the car as it heads down the hill. And now they race up. It's never really a straight, this circuit, Donnington. It's such a great touring car circuit, and what a great place to bring some V8 Supercars to, that's for sure. Okay, we've got Michael Stewart as well tonight with the camera for us, which is fantastic. How's he going? Let's have a quick look. So Michael Stewart at the moment, down the order a fair bit, isn't he? So he's just moving around, down 4 spots. So he's in this little train with Brenton O'Brien, who's made up 8 spots off the get-go. And behind O'Brien, you've got Dean Flavell, and then we see Stewart on your screen. So as you're right on board with him now, there's Dean Flavell, Dino in front. Just watch this, the way he's using the VR there. He's got the sequential shifter on the left, great looking shifter, that one. And then down through the gears, they clip the bollard on the right hand side just there, get away with it. I would love to see that do a little bit of damage to the car. I think that would make them really treat that chicane in a different way. He has a look to the inside of Dino, thinks about an overtake, and has a big think about it. How will he go out of the acceleration zone now as he gets the power down, 650 horsepower to the ground, and he's still behind Dino. And I've got to say, Brenton O'Brien in the Logitech car, that is a great get-go for him as he starts now lap 5 of this race. So he's really progressed well tonight as he goes past our pit lane camera there on the pit wall, and 8 spots now into the top 26. He would love to move along more. Jamie McKnight, by the way, up 10 spots already into 21st. Now remember, Jamie McKnight, he got a one race suspension last week. He's back from that now, but he had to start rear of field due to that suspension. Now he's got the bit between his teeth. He's chasing on after Byrne and Cairns, who are just in front. Up to the top of the hill we go, and it's a good shot of him. He'll really have a goal to hit tonight. He'll want to get himself up into the top 10. He'll want to get himself into the top 5, maybe a podium. You never know. Christian Smarts has gone new fastest lap of the race as we see Damien Cairns here battling with Ty Byrne. Cairns has also given us full access to his web camera, and he's got it in a great position tonight. Damien, well done. I've been saying for weeks we need to get a little bit more of your simulator, and there it is. We can't see his beautiful face though, but it's a great looking room. How about that for Taipan eSports? They'll be happy with that. Almost gets a bump there from Byrne, and look at McKnight as well, was down the inside on Ty Byrne. That was McKnight having a big dive. Byrne's got a little bit of damage from that nose to tail contact with Damien Cairns as well. Now he looks to the other side. So it's all happening here. Dan Hall, he's run wide through there, and McKnight will get through. Dan Hall will be there as well. So we're on board with Dan Hall now for Evolution Racing Team, up 5 positions in the race. And he now has a shot at the back of McKnight and Damien Cairns. So McKnight dancing all around, trying to find his way through. He's up 10 already. He wants to make that 11. He wants to be inside that top 20 on lap 6 of this race. Down the hill we go once again. Stuart Hall still leading the race, 0.4 of a second. So Paul Young's keeping him honest. Ty Byrne, I think, just went off the racetrack. Paul Young just closed that margin down a little bit on the previous lap. And then Dumbrell still sitting behind, Sharp in tow. It seems like a bit of a follow the leader track at the moment. There's Gamble as well in the background. He's got Greg Favell still bolted to the back of him. And you got Matt Vanderkraan as well. There's the order back further. You can see Vanderkraan, Steve Varga running in 13th. He's up 4 spots. Crosby behind him. Then you got Nickel and Visma and Banks. Banks is up 3 spots. Tyburn lost out tonight. He's got some damage. He's lost 10 spots in this opening couple of laps. And then it's Cairns, McKnight, Koistra, Hall, Kennedy, 23rd. And then Jeff Thomas tonight. Lost 5 off the start for JWME Motorsports. Not sure where that all went wrong, but he's now got to fight back and get himself inside that top 20. That'll be the first goal for him. Gamble under pressure. Here comes the Type N eSports car of Greg Favell. He'll be charged after last night, racing against the top 40, arguably the top 40 sim races in Australia. And in the V8 Supercars especially, they have incredible talent on display last night. If you missed it, go and watch the last 4 laps or so. One of the most incredible finishes to a racing event, not just sim racing, but a racing event I have ever seen. It was phenomenal. So go and check that out. Let's jump on board here with Greg Favell as we head down the hill. So Favell, just thinking about what to do next. Will we just sit behind and try and save some fuel? He's up 1 spot already in the race, but he probably senses his position. We've seen him week after week up the front leading these races from the get-go, and tonight it's all just been a little bit more of a challenge. Lap 7 of 63. Got some numbers too off Rick Viger earlier this evening. He sent me a quick message, as he does. He's a fantastic man for doing that. Let's have a quick look at those, all the details that he gave me now. So the normal strategy this week with a big pit window. So 2 compulsory stops again tonight as Favell gets right onto the back once again of Gamble. Starting fuel tonight, 68 litres, so 18 lap range for the first stint. And then they got a tank capacity of 94 litres to pump in a 28 lap range. So critical laps tonight, lap 7, which we're already now beyond, and lap 35 to bring it home. So lap 7, from now on in, we can see anyone coming to the pits. And do we have someone in the pits? Greg? No. Greg Friend, for some reason, was showing up on my screen as pitting. He's all good. Paul Preston has dropped down to the rear field. Not sure what's happened to Paul there, but he's in a little bit of bother. The Nova Motorsports car of Stuart Hall out in front from Paul Young and Michael Dumbrell, looking very, very good. Young's just come back at him a little bit now. 0.3 of a second, the margin between the top 2. Have a look at that track map and how busy it is out on the racetrack. They're basically all compressed around the back end of the circuit at this moment. So Stewie Hall looks back, and then you can see Dumbrell. He's also closed up the margin, so 7/10 now covers the top 3. It was 0.8 before. Top 7 or so. You can still throw a rug over them. There is Craig Friend. Then Gamble. This battle between Gamble and Favell a little bit further back. And amazed by the glare off that road surface when the sunlight is behind you today. It's, I'm going to say it's a little bit ugly. It looks great from that angle, but the other way there's just too much glare. Not something I can really fix now. It's that's part of the iRacing cameras, unfortunately, as we see a pass in the background. This is Varga and Richie, isn't it? So yeah, Richie on the inside? No, outside. As we see Stephen Varga on the inside, which will become the outside to get it all confused for you. Good battle between these two though. Now Vargas will get the switch over. He'll come back at him on the other side down the hill. This is super close racing. They should appear shortly from behind the trees. Eventually. Oh, they don't. What's going on there? Sack that cameraman. As they go down the hill, this is the one I was looking for. And there's still trees in the road. This is it. Under the bridge. Look at that. Flying up the hill. They surprised me with the full circuit tonight. I should have read that, but my camera pack's on the other circuit. So to do a quick little couple of modifications to get these shots that I like in these follow cameras, the drone cameras, and just gives you a good view of the speed and also the undulation. You can see how high that raises up in that last part of the back end of the circuit, and then they go over a lip, and then it all is quite even. Once you go down here where the GP circuit ends up, it's all quite flat through this last part, so they disappear off down to another hairpin. It's basically a sequence of hairpins here. So double right-hander into a double left-hander. There goes your race leader to start another lap. Stuart Hall out in front. And so far, we haven't really seen any big incidents. No crashes to talk about, and no sign of a safety car yet. So race control are busy in the background, as you can tell. And a big thanks once again to Race Control. In the splits tonight, we have David Coleman and James Chaston here in split 1. Split 2 tonight, Ash Barella with Josh Drake and Ben Anthony. They're over in split 2. And you got Dan Hayes and Martin Lofthouse in split 3 tonight, making sure everyone is being well behaved. What's happened with Dumbrell? He's just lost a position here. Duggan's gone through, so this is a busy little battle now. And he shakes his head, not happy with whatever happened a moment ago. So I just saw a little reaction there as both Sharp and Smart got through. I might try and get you a quick replay of that one. And I'll see who went through first. I think Greg Sharp got through on Dumbrell first, and that may have caused the Dumbrell just to be a little bit slow, which that meant Christian Smart could get through as well. Here's a quick replay. So we can look and see if that's exactly what happened. So this is an outboard shot. So Sharp went down the inside on Dumbrell. Dumbrell left him plenty of space, and you'll see probably Christian Smart will say, oh, you can leave the door open. I might have a shot at that too. And then Christian Smart doesn't get through there. He must go down the inside of the next corner, which he does. So, nope. Okay, so he held station out of there, so it must have been a little bit further on. There's the switchback, so we'll stay with this replay. Because Dumbrell somehow loses the spot here to Christian Smart. Now it's around the outside. Does he just go a bit deep in, maybe? Down the hill. Still on a replay here. Trying to find where this mistake happened, because somewhere down the bottom of the hill here, he just seemed to lose momentum, and there was a big shake of the head. It looks like it's, was it here? Yeah, so there's a bit of dust in the air, and that's where you can see, Christian Smart dived around the inside. Look at Duggan as well. So he passed him around the outside. That's incredible. Good job. And that's where he lost a couple of spots there. And put Dumbrell back into 6th place. So still leading out in front, Stewie Hall, Paul Young in tow. Lap 11, how are we doing? I should come and say good day to you guys, because I've just been so focused on getting everything up and running tonight. Haven't had a chance to come and say good day, so let's do that now. Now I can turn my alerts back on too. I forgot about that because I had to turn them off last night. So big thanks to the stars there, which I think just went, it's come and gone. So I missed those stars coming up on the screen. But big thanks there to Christine Cairns saying, hey Luke, great job last night and loving tonight. Veterans, come on Damien Cairns, you got this. Keith Logan with the stars too, says Logitech series was awesome mate, great production. Same with that, you commentary. It's nice to have a night off. And Jake Mears says, what a call last night, and the visor cam was on point, bro. Thanks man, it was such a good fun night last night. Tyson Hammer as well says, good luck on, well done on last night's broadcast Luke. Absolutely cracking race too, yeah, thanks Tyson, it was so much fun. Jacob in the house says, let's go Flavel as well. Did I see front brake disc glowing? There's another comment from Keith Logan. Now I have to pay a little bit of attention here because it has been a gripe that I've been on about for a while now with iRacing, and front brake disc not glowing red hot. So let's see if we can't find a shot. I can still see back disc glowing red hot and the trail of that as they dull down, but let me see if we can get a shot, a side shot somewhere. Oh no, look, they're still cold as anything. So we got rear heat in the rear brake disc, but nothing in the front, sadly, unless we can see it from this angle. I still think iRacing haven't done anything about it. There you go. So yeah, no heat in the front. Andrew Ritchie at the moment, down 2 spots, running in 11th place. Is Scott Gamble, does he pit? He does. So here we go. Scott Gamble, the first person to take a gamble. Excuse the pun. He bounced his way down the pit lane there. That was quite brutal. There's some bumps there, or some speed humps in the pit lane, but Gamble has come out of the pack now. And let's see where he feeds back in, because this could be crucial for later in the race. He's just down there in the paddock now, and look at this, Dan Hall's come in as well. So it's a little bit of a team affair, Evolution Racing team. They've decided to go in together. I wonder if we'll see... no, we didn't. So where is Brenton? He's carried on, I think. Brenton O'Brien has carried on. So he's up in 23rd place, fighting with Scott McCune. Maybe that's why he carried on. He's in quite a battle here. And but at the same time, maybe getting out of this battle might have been ideal. As we look back at Brenton from Scotty's car, there's the vision. We'll get to 9. I thought Brenton was going to have a big lunge down the outside, down the inside for a second there. He thought better of it. We're on board with Scott for Hypersonic Racing. They've given us 3 driver camps tonight, so big thanks to them for their input and for giving us that insight, which is fantastic. Let's head across to YouTube and say good day to the YouTube people. We've got Will Wilson in the house. Uncle Hutto says, come on, JWM, you wholesome team. And Will says, I couldn't find the Logitech race streaming anywhere last night. Mate, it was on RACESTARS TV. Facebook. It was also on YouTube. So we'll try and link it up a little bit better next time so you don't miss it. And growing up, Kiwi says, those new VAR cars look great. What an awesome merger. Hey, let's have a little talk about that too, because it's something I forgot to chat about, because I was sent a message earlier in the week, which there's just been so much going on. I'll put a link up in a sec, Will, for that Logitech race, because you do need to go and see the replay. The last 4 laps was incredible, and I won't put any spoilers out there, but it came down to the finish line. Let me just say that, between 5 cars. Incredible race. But yeah, so we've got this merger, and we've got to update the team names, but as you can see, Emu Sim Racing and the Banter Alliance have joined forces here, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, with PRA, so we've got a fantastic merger, and the cars look incredible. So that's why Paul Young's got the new livery on tonight. You can see the Bay 21 coffee beans on there, carrying across some of his sponsors from his old team, but they are like that. Very, very good. Now we've got a huge battle down in the back here. Between, there's a bit of contact there. I think Richie, Crosby, Nichols in there as well. Tim Nichols just snatched a break, just hit the back of the M1 car, and has almost rotated the car around. It was, I think, into the back of Ty Byrne, who's already been in the wars tonight. Now, as Byrne got a little bit of damage from that, now Nichols goes to the outside to try and sneak around the long way. And wowee, it was definitely a big hit. And 5 or 6 cars. McKnight's in the middle of that, and Nickel pits. He's got damage, I think, that needs instant repair. McKnight up 17 spots now into the top 14. A man on a mission, one may say. The car still looks pretty clean for the amount, a bit of oversteer, but for the amount of overtaking he's had to do. It's got a little bit of damage on the front left for Jamie McKnight, but other than that, he gets his nose chopped off there by Andrew Ritchie. Now he goes to the outside. He might switch back on him up the hill. Get a good exit out of here. Gets an overlap on the 927 and pulls back in behind. Now up the hill. It's a bit risky to send it on any of these corners. He may just have to wait till the back straightaway now, and he might get a little bit wide now to shave there. There's Richie anyway, so McKnight does get alongside now, and that'll be the job done surely. McKnight will move himself up into the top 13 behind. You can see Ty Byrne. And Stephen Banks also got chopped there as well, and it may be Anthony Visma that got snatched into the corner, and now he's dropped back to 16th place. But wow, this is a great midfield battle. And car off the racetrack and going around. Richie rotates the car. And he gets hit by Rue Koistra. Koistra could not avoid that one. And Rue straight into the side of Andrew Ritchie's Emu Sim Racing car. And big damage to both. That will probably, they'll need to pit anyway. It won't be a safety car because both cars got going again. But they're definitely going to need to come back and get that fixed. So big damage. Let's have a look at that on the small screen replay while we catch up with our leader. So Richie got really out of shape across the dirt, and then he got clipped by Byrne as well for good measure, and then watch this, stranded in the track. Koistra couldn't avoid it, and a big hit into the door. So not ideal. Koistra's in the pits. Jeff Thomas still in the pit lane as well. Andrew Ritchie's in the lane as well, and the fastest driver on the racetrack, Greg Favell, a 1:28.03 last time around. He has stopped. He's back there in 28th place. A Roo hit an emu, iconic, says says Will. Classic. Okay, so I'm going to go quickly find that replay for you, or last night's Logitech, and I'll quickly post that up in the chat, because it's definitely worth watching. And we had some awesome battles, and I've just copied the link now, so let me flip that over to both chats tonight, just for a little catch up for people. And there was one YouTube link that didn't go live. We had a little hiccup there last night, but it went live eventually. There it is. So if you get a chance later on, go watch that. It's absolutely incredible. And watch it from the start, watch it from the middle, definitely watch the end. Okay, so Paul Young into the pits. Here he goes from ERA. So he's in for his stop. It's very bumpy, this pit lane. I'm just trying to see. They are definitely like speed humps down the pit lane. So it tries to encourage the drivers to not just run down where the boxes are. Basically, as we just watch, let's watch Jamie McKnight come in. So, oh, is he looking for his stop? He's not so used, look at that. He's not so used to having to be so far down the lane. But if you just straight line it across all the pit boxes, you end up bunny hopping your way all the way down the racetrack. So you want to try and maybe just swing into your pit box at the last possible moment if you can. And easily says the call was very animated and very entertaining. We've got a few things we're going to fix, don't worry. We've got some production ideas to get the voices a little bit clearer, because it was the animation. How good was it having Sandman back on the mic too, and Jake as well? It was such a great night. I love not having to commentate, by the way. Just doing the production was awesome. And just listening to those guys absolutely tear it up on the mic was so good. As we watch Mark Duggan now, and is that Christian Smart almost into the back of him? So they continue to fight on. We've got a pit lane penalty here for car 64 incident on lap 15. That would be Ty Byrne into the pits. Yes, we have to try. That's a good point. We've got to try and catch when Dumbrell comes into the pits if he goes over all the bumps, because that will be funny. So Dumbrell goes on to do another lap. We may see him in for the next stop, so I will try and catch that for you. Will. Oh mate, I don't know what's going on with the bots. They're on everyone's channel at the moment. If you can just report the post, that would be fantastic. I just can't do it while I'm doing 1,000 other things. Surely YouTube, you know, they're so strict on other things like deleting someone's channel for an accidental copyright strike, but they won't do anything about the stripper bots, so I got no idea what's going on. That's YouTube for you. As we see Dumbrell up into P2, Crosby back a little bit further. We've got a heap of cars in the pit lane now, so we'll get across that pit strategy shortly for you, because Christian Smart, Stewart, Barrage, McCune all in the pits. Scott Campbell moves up to 21st now. In fact, he does get past Smart on the exit of the pit lane, so Gamble will have tyres up to temp. Christian Smart, how hard is he going to push this on cold tyres? He gets back in front of Gamble, so down the hill, side by side. This is a bit risky for Christian on the cold tyres. And Gamble hangs it on the inside now, and wow, that was good. Good racing. Smart, he let it hang out there, and it's worked for him. Oh, Dumbrell with a spin. Dumbrell with a little bit of a spin there, and he's lost a bit of time to Craig Friend. Now he goes into the pits. So let's see what it's like if he goes over the bumps in this motion rig. He's having a laugh, shaking the head, and I think he's deliberately staying away from those bumps. Here he goes. Oh, bit bumpy. Very good. All right, so Dumbrell in the pits. We've got Stewie Hall in the pits too. Crosby goes through to take the lead of the race. He's yet to stop. So all the drivers looking down as Brenton O'Brien hasn't stopped either. Now he's going to go through. He's very good at saving fuel, Brenton. He generally is the last man to pit if they go from a 3/4 tank to empty on stint one. He will be the last. He'll get an extra lap out of this. So he's up into P2. And then you've got the first of the stoppers out of the pits now. Stewie Hall is just ahead of Greg Favell. So Favell now back into the game. And that's really good strategy from him. He stopped on lap 11, and now he finds himself within, what is it? He's within about 2.5 seconds of the man who's ultimately leading this race. So Greg Favell, and what was he, about P9 prior to the pit stop? That is a fantastic job. Maybe I should make you an admin, Will Wilson, on YouTube. What do you reckon about that? Help us out with all those bots. Deborah Favell says, "Come on, Greg. He's doing well now. He's back in the hunt. Thanks, Deborah, for the stars, and he's got himself back into this game. So it'd be nice to know. Maybe we'll ask him at the end of the broadcast if he was just a little bit off in qualifying for this one, because it's uncharacteristic. Seemed qualified down in around 9th or 10th place, but now he's just showing that true form, and he stopped a lot earlier, so he's going to have to go long. This will offset him to everyone else for the rest of this race. But the thing is, with the new strategy and the new limitations on fuel, they can fill it to the brim now for this second stint, and they'll go for about 28 laps. So the middle stint of this race will be much, much longer than we saw in the first stint. So there goes Duggan and Young sharp in behind as well. Then Scott Gamble up into 7th now. All the drivers have now stopped, with O'Brien and Crosby in the pit lane just behind, taking their first fuel stop. So O'Brien will come out. He's still up on the jacks. Crosby gets out first. Crosby will come out probably in around 15th, 16th place by the time he gets up to speed. McKnight just goes through up into 15th. So that's 16 spots for McKnight in the first stint. Now he's got another 43 laps to try and get himself up into the top 10. I'd put my money on that. I reckon he'll be there. Alright, let's find a battle. This one's pretty decent, down in 18th place. It's Anthony Visma and Matt Vanderkrant. Angry Birds Racing as we watch them go up the hill, kicking up the dust. Now that dust back onto the racetrack will maybe cause a little bit of havoc later on, as it makes it a little bit slippery out there for the competitors. See the lap times there. He took 4.5 seconds out of Vanderkrant Visma on the previous lap, so he's pulling away and getting himself a nice little gap back. The Angry Birds Racing driver Jeff Thomas is in behind them. And let's jump on board with Jeff. So he's had a bit of a mixed bag of an evening. He's only down one position though from where he started. Now Jeff Thomas does have a race camera tonight as well, so there you go. Let's jump on board with him for a moment, and let's enjoy a lap on board from this view. This should be cool. Let's see how it goes. Leave that battle. We're going to go across to this one now. This is Dan Hall. He's got Jamie McKnight starting to hone in on the back of him. I think we're about to see some fireworks. And that's what we want to see. McKnight, he's still carrying that damage, so he didn't use the fast repair to fix the car. He dives down the inside, and there you go. That looks pretty easy in the end. Will Hall fight this back. He gets a good exit off the corner. They almost bang doors, and they've just got the double left-hander now to bring them back onto the pit straight. McKnight locks the brakes slightly through there, but does get the job done. 18 positions now up. Jamie McKnight into 13th, and they continue on their merry way. So McKnight jumps on the mic and says a little thank you, and off he goes. So next person up the road, Paul Preston. There you go. This new amalgamation of teams looking very, very good. And thanks, Brenda, for the stars, and welcome. As we'll go back and check out Greg. He's up 8 spots now into P2 on an alternate strategy. Let's have a look at that strategy board whilst we're talking about Greg, because just have a look at that. You can see P2 there, Greg Favell stopped on lap 11. Everyone else around was lap 17 or 18, except for Scott Gamble. He also came in on lap 12, sorry, 1 lap later than Favell. And of course, Paul Preston stopping at the end of lap 1, which is an interesting strategy tonight, but it's brought him back into 12th place. So he had his reasons, and it looks like it's starting to go his way, which is good. So for Preston, up 16 spots. McKnight behind him is up 18 spots, and then you've got Dan Hall as well in that little grouping, up 13 spots. So it's a nice little battle. These guys have really pushed forward. I love the colours on Paul Preston's new livery tonight. We'll get those team names updated for next week and have a little bit of a chat about that as well. Right, so we fire on, and 2.2 seconds now the gap. Stuart Hall looks really, really good tonight, doesn't he? He looks in control at the front. And we've got another web camera to get to as well, because we've got 5 tonight, is it? So we've got... Oh, we've been to everyone now. We've been to Damien Cairns, we've got Michael Stewart, we've got Scott McCune, Jeff Thomas, and Michael Dumbrell. Stuart Hall. Let's go back to this battle between Young and Sharp. I think this is about to get a little bit tasty, and they're on the back of Mark Duggan as well. So we're right on board with Greg Sharp. You can see forward Duggan and Young. Oh, he has a look to the inside as Paul Young. And listen how much they have to get out of the throttle through here. It's such a slow corner. The patience that's required to not jump on that loud pedal through there must be incredible. Nice to have Brenton watching tonight. Brenton Niski just says, another great broadcast, Luke. Awesome job. Thanks, man. And I hear you're not too well, and I hope you get better very, very soon. I just saw the chat comments earlier tonight, mate. So rest up and get yourself back in good shape, because we're missing you out there tonight, that's for sure. You're a man that's been carrying a lot of speed throughout this championship, and one to watch definitely as we watch this battle continue. Young and Sharp. Can they do anything about this man? Mark Duggan is really hitting his straps again, isn't he? He's had an interesting couple of seasons, injuries, real-world injuries that he's had to fight to get back into shape and be able to do this again. But I tell you what, you bowled him in the sim, he is so fast. Tonight, he's matching the times. He's only about a 10th off the best time from Greg Favell. And, well, on for a podium if he can hold this position to the end of the race. It's quite spread out. It's almost reminding me a little bit of Winton. Is that Stephen Banks missing the rear assembly of that car? It is. So he's throwing the slogan out there, I don't care. KFC, he's knocked the whole back off the car of Banks's Century Motorsport entry. And doesn't look so good. Apparently feels okay though. They haven't done anything about that in iRacing, so you can still roll around with plenty of rear downforce, even though all the downforce has been taken off the car. Koister in the pits. Sadly for Rue, after that incident, that's probably going to be a tough night for him to continue on. Will Wilson says, I can just imagine McKnight blowing up while he's carving through the field. As long as he doesn't blow up a motor, that's the one thing we don't want to see tonight, is blown motors, which we've seen across different race events throughout the V8 Veteran Series since we started here in Season 7. We're Season 11 now. Season 12 kicks off soon, by the way. Jokin's in the house. Hello, Jokin. Season 12 kicking off very, very soon, and I reckon there's going to be a lot of action. Apparently the bots are on. I'm going to see if I can... You talk about multitasking. I'm going to see if I can get on YouTube and try and put an end to this. In fact, I may change the settings on YouTube that makes only subscribers allowed to comment, which I don't like doing, but it's just out of control at the moment with YouTube not seeming to police those issues too well. So let me see what I can do whilst doing a million other things here, and like I said, I might have to get a couple of people just to come in and help me with adminning every now and then as we watch Greg Sharp once again all over the back of Paul Young. Now, is this, you know, we're almost midway through the race now. Is this a fuel conservation mode, just trying to work out what to do and when to when to pounce. We've seen a lot of these drivers, they can back off up to around 2 seconds a lap. It's a big margin. They tend to drive to a number, whether it be off their fuel calculators or whatever, but they're very good at doing that. But then when they want to step it back up, which they do towards the end of a stint, definitely towards the end of the race, well, that's when you really see the fireworks and the speed as well these guys can carry. So I'm just going to head over now into YouTube, folks, and do a little bit of reporting, and it's going to take me forever to do this. There's stacks of them. So we'll see what I can do here. In fact, if I just hide the user on the channel, the problem is that they're multiple users. That's where, oh, there you go. Maybe that doesn't fix it. Just deleted all those ones. There you go. So, all right, who wants some admin rights? I might give Will Wilson. I'll see if I can make him an admin. He can be my new man. Add moderator. There you go. I can add some moderators here. Who else wants to be a moderator? Absolute legend. So, righto. I'll continue to always try and make this the best I can and the best experience for you guys at home that are watching and supporting the race. So thank you. Don't forget, there's still plenty going on. Another big week next week of sim racing here on RACESTARS TV. So if you haven't already subscribed and liked the channel, please do so as we jump on board with Crosby. He gets alongside Dino now, just behind the A pillar there. We'll quickly flick to a different camera. So Dino gets ahead. No, sorry, Crosby will get ahead around the outside. Dean on the inside. This will be close. There's also a Taipan car there. That's Anthony Visma. You can almost hear the noise of his V8 alongside down the pit straight. Really trying to tack into the braking zone. He does, so he gets the job done. Anthony Visma fighting back now into 17th place. Good recovery. And he's just got Crosby next up the road. That'll be a 16th if he can get there. Down the hill they go once again. Back to your race leader. And who's that going slow in the background? There was a car out of position there. Maybe that, oh, that was Damien Cairns, who's been lapped. That's why he was going a little bit slow. So as we just see, it's classic. Okay, reading some of your comments. You guys are legends. Let's go and have a quick look at, whilst we're doing that, let's have a look at the Facebook comments. There's a few people over there watching, so g'day. Big thanks again to Brenda, Deborah, Christine, Keith, Tyson for some stars tonight. You guys are legends. 28 is 63. It hasn't been a night where we've had to see too much action from race control, which is interesting. Last night we didn't have a safety car either in the Pro Invitational, which was, well, I thought we'd definitely get one safety car at Sebring. And Donnington, you'd sort of half expect one as well. But last night everyone was well behaved, and tonight once again everyone's being on their best behaviour here. At Donnington as we ride on board with Kennedy now, wheel to wheel with, oh, it's almost contact with McCune, isn't it? So McCune's on the other side of him. Here's a new onboard shot. We got over the shoulder shot with Scott McCune, and he's just ahead now of Kennedy. That was a good little battle as he goes down through the gears, turns it into turn one. One hand on the wheel, one hand on the gear shifter. And he gaps Kennedy by a couple of car lengths as they disappear off down the hill here at Donnington. It's such a fun racetrack to drive. I've had a couple of runs around here in some high downforce machinery. I actually love the Daytona prototype around this track. It is so cool. Will Wilson's on mod duty. There you go, mate. I'm not sure if I have to make you a mod every time. Maybe I'll just try and log in each race and just make a few people that tune in each week mods. That will just keep the filth out of the channel, which is fantastic. Cameron Veacock's in the house too. Cameron, I might just do that. I'll see if I can quickly log back in and make you a mod as well. But all the things I need to be doing is worrying about spam chat at the same time. So races, thanks everyone that's coming in. And John Latham's in the house, says, hey Luke, myself, Gracie and Sadie, is it? I can't read that, it's very small. Watching while eating dinner. Great broadcast as always, and looking forward to race again. We miss you, John. It's been a while, man, so hopefully you can get yourself back on here soon. And I'm just trying to see. I actually can't. Maybe it's not letting me make Cameron oh, I know why I'm on the wrong YouTube channel. Saying I can't make you an admin. That's because, oh, hang on, Greg Favel's off the track. He's off and he's in the fence. This is not good for Greg Favel. So from P2, and the car doesn't look like it's moving. I wonder if he's blown a motor there. He's talking to race control. This could be our first safety car of the night. So I think it will be safety car. I know Dave Coleman in the safety car tonight for those duties. He'll be standing by. We may see a heap of cars into the pits too. And there is Greg Favel dropping down the order. And that is devastating because he'd done such a good job tonight with, obviously, first of all, that early pit stop. There's the safety car, so it hasn't moved. We'll wait and hear from race control here. Stuart Hall is halfway down the hill, so he's missed an opportunity to come into the pits if that's what his plan was. If there was a safety car, generally they do jump in. But the other issue we got is we're not at lap 35 yet. We're about 5 laps off the critical lap to fill it up and bring it home. So even if we do get a safety car now, we may find that, well, a lot of them won't stop, depending on how long the safety car period goes for. Favel's still stationary. I wonder if they're just going to let this go through. We've got another car in the fence, Matt Vanderkrant. He's hit the barrier as well, and he's gone into the wall. He flicks it around. Where's that? It's the final corner, is it? Yeah, it is. So he's gone straight ahead by the looks of things. And I reckon we're staying, there you go, we're staying green. So no safety car required. At this time, Stewie Hall leads the race. Duggan, Young, Sharp and Smart, your top 5. Cameron Veacock saying car is far off the track. Don't think they'll call a safety car. You're right there. So it was well out of harm's way. And that's why you're demand, Cameron. I did not even think about that. So good job by race control. Leaving it green. We're continuing to run flat out here in Stuart Hall with an 8.2 second margin now. We'll go back and have a look at Greg Favel and see if we can work out if it was a blown motor. Here's the replay. Let's have a look. So we'll have to back it up a bit. iRacing's jumped a little bit too far forward, but let's see if we can just hear. We have to go back a fair way by the looks of things. See if we can't pick up what's gone wrong here. So he was stationary a long time actually. We'll just jump back to even further back. So this is where he first went off. And I'm thinking motor because he was going very slow. Let's have a listen. Yeah, it's definitely not under its own power, is it? Let's go back even further and watch for the telltale. There it is. There it is, folks. Watch this out the back. The big downshift, the big explosion. How about the hard luck for Greg Favel tonight, Taipan eSports? That car is toast. It's blown the motor tonight, and well, just unlucky, isn't it? That's the downshift explosion that McKnight had so much trouble with a couple of seasons ago. He changed his driving style, and he hasn't had too many since. But it's these guys that really use a lot of engine braking can fall into that trap, and the motors sometimes just let go. Dave Coleman just jumping in and says, yep, car was safely off the track. Thanks, Dave. I thought you were a bit keen to get out in the safety car for a moment there, but your time may still come in the race. We're beyond halfway. And Cameron says may have been damaged from earlier, which is true as we jump back on board with Ty Byrne. He's been in the wars tonight. That's Stewart going around the outside of... Oh, Stewart out of control. Oh, dearie me. And Michael Stewart's gone for a little bit of a moment there. And a big moment it was. He was across the chicane. And sadly, it's dropped him a couple more positions. So a big moment there. We'll have a quick look at that on a replay whilst he now has a fight with Goosey. And also Andrew Ritchie's just behind there as well. Ritchie might have a shot at him shortly as well, because you've also then got the damaged car of Darren Shannon. He's back there limping around till the next pit stop. So there was the moment for Stewart, a big lose through the chicane. So let's right on board with Darren Shannon. He'll get the best view in the house of this little battle in front. And we're looking at 23rd, 24th, 25th, and we're riding on board with 26th place. So I love that. There's battles right down the order again tonight. Doesn't matter where you are, there's a battle to be seen. Continues down the order. Let's go back to the top. Paul Young, P3, still on the podium here. Christian Smart just hovering in behind. We're on board with him now for Synergy Sim Racing. Then you've got Scott Gamble. He's about 7.7 seconds back. They would love a safety car, these guys that have just fallen a little bit out of touch. So you're looking at Gamble now. Behind him, Craig Friend. Then Dumbrell, who had that slide before. He's back in 8th place. Then Stephen Varga further back again. See in the background how much further Stephen Varga is back. Then to finish your top 10, Jason Spriggs. He's another driver who's moved across to Taipei and eSports, so we'll have to get that name updated as well. We'll do that on the fly now quickly for him. But as I said, there's some big gaps out there and plenty of drivers that would probably, like that safety car, have to have come out a few laps ago and just help bunch them all up again. And also a man that's going to be interested in safety cars, this guy. Teetering on the edge of the top 10, Jamie McKnight in 11th place. So he's made up 20 spots tonight. Let's have a look at the gains on the left-hand side of your screen. And there it is. So 3 for Duggan. He's in 2nd place. Gamble's made up 5 in 6th. Varga up 8. Spriggs up 3. Jamie McKnight 20 positions into the top 11. And then behind him, Dan Hall as well has made up 15 into 12th. And Flavel, Dean Flavel, sorry, up 10 spots into the top 16. Dean Flavel, not to be confused with Flavel. Out there doing a beautiful job tonight. Behind him, Scott McCune still can't get past Stephen Banks. These guys have been interlocked, and he's probably thinking, man, with that sort of downforce level, I should be straight through. But not tonight. Let's have a look at Damien Cairns as well. Christine will pick up where Damien's at. And at the moment, he's just dropped down to 32nd place, sadly. Taipei and eSports competitor, and a bit of a lonely race, is to be said. Sporting this brand new camera look for us tonight. I love it. That's perfect, Damien. He's got a great race setup. You can see another driver with a telemetry screen up above, hanging up above him, and triple screen set below. The blue light sets it off for me. I'm always a fan of some RGB or some nice coloured LED lighting, and that looks fantastic. Although he hasn't had the most exciting race for him tonight, and back in 32nd place, he's definitely taken a step forward in the world of race cam departments. So thank you, Damien. Let's go back to the front. Give the Nova Motorsports entrant, Stuart Hall, some airtime. So we've got a 1-2 Nova Motorsports at the moment. It's Stuart Hall leading, Mark Duggan. The gap 6.5 seconds. The pit strategy up on the screen now. You can see all pretty even at the front. Gamble in 6th place. The first driver that went alternate went a bit earlier. By about 6 or so laps, he dived into the pits earlier. And we're now at lap 35. So this is the lap where we can get into the pits, you can fill it to the brim, and you can bring it home. Will we see someone do just that? I'm going to put a bit of money on Scott Gamble maybe jumping into the pits and doing that on his return to the top split. Sharp has done it, so there you go. There's your first driver to come in and make his final stop, and just like that, oh, I thought it was Gamble. There's someone else in the lane. Just trying to find out who that is. There's another car limping. Is it Cairns? I think he's got a little bit of suspension damage, but he's also now in for his final stop of the night. Stuart Hall, only the one stop so far, continues on out in front. Yes, Cameron's crash at Sebring, still an absolute ripper in the safety car that made it to the iRacing top 10 on their Facebook and social media, which was fantastic. Christine says, oh, we worked hard at that camera angle for tonight. Haha, well, you did a great job. It looks fantastic, so thank you. Adds to the flavour, adds to the broadcast quality. So it's great that we can get more and more drivers now, giving us full access. Dumbrell continues to get buffeted around. He's back in 7th place, chasing down Craig Friend. Can't seem to get that close. I wonder, what is it about this track? It's a little bit like Winton. We've seen some really close racing in certain racetracks, and then you come to a track like Winton or then Donnington, which the drivers just don't seem to be able to follow very closely. And into the pits goes Scott Gamble. There you go, Christian Smart in as well. Like I said, I thought he might come in just to run with that strategy that he stopped early. Why not continue the flow? So Gamble in, he'll fill it up, and I reckon he could be on for a top 5 tonight. And that will be incredible considering where he's come in this series for season 11. From split 3, elevated to split 2, and now right up there in the top split. Will Wilson says the pit lane reminds me of the awkward horse. Baldock would definitely or probably fall off a sit. Oh, Dave won't appreciate that. Which reminds me, I'm going to go and quickly try and find. I think it was Dave Baldock that contacted. I had so many messages during the week, especially leading up to the Pro Series. I've absolutely forgotten. I think it was Dave Baldock that told me about the amalgamation of these teams. So I'm going to go find out some details shortly and read them out to you, unless someone wants to just post it on Facebook or YouTube for me to read. Brenton Niski says, Hall, awesome drive tonight, unstoppable, I think. Stewie Hall, I tend to agree with you. 6 seconds the lead. Fastest lap of the race, I think, still in the hands of Favell, who his night's gone from bad to worse. He's down in 33rd place. He's carried on, which, you know, to me, he's not really going to score fantastic points tonight. He's going to probably end up around maybe top of the high 20s, maybe mid 20 position if you can continue on for the next, 25 laps to go, 26 laps to go. But, oh dear, just as I've said that, I've put the mockers on him, haven't he? He's gone for a big old slide down on the grass. Just as I was thinking, kudos to him for not just giving up tonight and parking the car. At least he's pushed on and he'll continue to run here till the end of the race. And that's the sportsmanship we love in the V8 veterans. Everyone here over the age of 40, they get out, they have a run, and Greg, it's a night he'd probably want to forget, but he's pushed on with it. Let's go back to this battle between Dumbrell now, who's all over the back of Craig Friend. So he's closed the margin up. He was, well, he wasn't much quicker on the previous lap. This is now his opportunity. So let's have a quick look on board. We'll line him up. Not close enough, I don't think, here to have a go down into the chicane. He'll close right up onto the rear bar. Just watch how much curb they take through there. He takes the bollard with him. And they head down towards the first of the 2 hairpins. So it's busy out there, isn't it? Just in these little micro battles. Christian Smart, who's had 2 stops. Keep an eye on the 2 stoppers because he's just behind Tyburn. Tyburn's only stopped the once, so Smart will want to try and clear him as quickly as he can. He gets alongside now, you can just see them neck and neck into the braking zone, and Tyburn does the smart thing there and just tucks back in behind. Again, no pun intended. As Barrage goes wheel to wheel with Scott Gamble. So this is interesting for Scott. Now, we're looking at the 2 drivers that have already stopped. Christian Smart's in 16th. He's made his 2nd stop. He can go to the end of the race. And then Scott Gamble in 21st. Now, if you look at them on the track map, it's have a quick look at 16th and 21st. And it should give us a little positioning here of where they're at. So you can just see now Christian Smart heading down the pit lane. Gamble just coming to the final hairpin before the pits. So that's the distance between the two guys that have made their stops already. The important one then to look at would be the distance between 16th place, which is the first of our two stoppers, and then the race leader. And the race leader currently is well, just coming through the hairpin now. So you can see it's basically half the track. There's the distance between Stewie Hall, who's just coming across the start, or into the pits, just to say that. He's gone in for his stop. And you can see Christian Smart, he's just moved up to 15th now, going up the hill. So it's half the track, basically, the distance between them. And out into the lead, Mark Duggan, who will enjoy this, taking a couple of laps to lead this round 9 race. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, he's had some terrible injuries to overcome, and he's back out there really firing well, enjoying his sim racing. And the Nova Motorsport guys look like they could be on for a 1-2 tonight, and that would be a fantastic result for the team. So the pit lane's busy. Spriggs is in, Paul Young's in as well, Stephen Banks. I just remembered I got a little bit sidetracked there. I'm heading off to try and find that message that I was sent during the week, so give me a moment, see if I can find it. It was sent to, I think, it wasn't a private message, I think you never know, I've got so many different messages. It either went to RACESTARS TV or it went to my private one, but let me just have a see if I can find it. The funny thing is, I mean, Facebook's become more and more unuser friendly for someone that does what I do. They keep changing things, and it's like, how do I find where that used to be? Oh, here it is. I found the page messages, and now it's asking me to set something up. Classic. And I'm going to quickly look down, and okay, it wasn't there. Must have been to my private messages. This search continues. I bet you're all bored thinking, what is he even rambling about? I'm rambling about the fact we've got two teams that have joined forces in this series. Got to look back about 100 messages. Steve Varga from 5th goes into the pits. Puts McKnight up into 4th, can you believe? So Jamie McKnight up into the top 4. And incredible. Now Dave Bordock finally found the message. So Dave Bordock sent it to my private Facebook message. That's why I couldn't find it. And big news for you, champion, he says. So big news for you, champion. PRA and EMU have now merged. The team being launched on Thursday. So whilst we're talking about that, let's have a quick look at where is he? Where's he gone? We'll have a look at Paul Young to show the new livery on the car. So we'll get this updated for next round, but we're going to have a chat on Friday night to both Reg and Dave Wardock about this merger of teams. So PRA and EMU Sim Racing have got together, and now they've created this VAR, which looks very, very good. Love the livery. We're seeing a few more of them out there tomorrow night as well in the Split 2 affair. So very good. Paul Young battling with Kennedy, and then Scott McCune still fighting with Stuart Hall, who has made his stops. There's Hall. He's made his 2 stops. McCune's going to lose a lot of track position when he comes in for his second one. And Greg Sharp, who's also made 2 stops, needs to clear McCune as soon as possible. This is costing him a little bit because his fight's not with McCune, it's with the guy in front, Stuart Hall. And all the while this is going on, it's making his chance of a podium much, much harder. So Thomas and Nick will go to the lane. This will help release a few more drivers as Christian Smart goes up into 9th now. And for the pit strategy, the top 5 yet to make their final pit stop. And you've got Hall in 6th, he has. McCune 7th hasn't. Sharp has. Smart has. Young has. Young's up in what could be P4 tonight. So with this brand new team, he could be on for a podium if you can get past Christian Smart. Christian Smart has really turned on the speed, but he's there. He's there and thereabouts. Scotty Gamble, I'm predicting he'll probably be in the top 5 tonight as well. And he's got a clear track in front of him. Can he put in some quality laps now? His last lap was a 29.0. Now the race leader, Duggan, did a 29.3. So he was 0.3 quicker, and in fact he was even a little bit quicker than the other drivers that have 2 stopped. He was quicker than Sharp, Smart and Young on the previous lap, Scott Campbell. So he's working nicely. The man who's quickest though of anyone out there, Stuart Hall on the previous lap, a 1 minute 28.5. So he was almost, well, he was 0.6 quicker than Gamble, who was quicker than everyone else. So that just goes to show what sort of condition he's in tonight. Stuart Hall is looking like a very comfortable race win, unless he headbutts it in the head, as Jamie McKnight would say, and does something absolutely incredibly wrong. Will Wilson says you need an admin for your messages by the sound of it, or a team of admins. Oh man, I can tell you, early on when I started race, I'll tell you a funny story. I had to actually put the foot down, because there was a time there where I think I had over 650 drivers that I was putting through SDK each week to, putting the names up for the broadcast. So 650 drivers, and I started to get so many private messages. Can you change this? Can you do this? Can you change my name to this? Can you focus on me a little bit more? Can I have a little bit more airtime because Mum's watching me each week? I'd get these sort of messages, and I started to get about 150 messages a week, and I almost had a breakdown. I said, I can't deal with this many messages. So you're right, Will. I needed an assistant then. I didn't get one. I ended up just saying, hey, listen, you got to go talk to your series organisers. And I put it back onto them. So poor Ben Anthony probably got himself about 100 messages a week now, thanks to me saying, hey, no more. But they tend to still message me now and then. I don't mind it. I love hearing from the drivers. Like, you got guys like Rick Weiger. Every week he'll send me the stats. He'll say, like, this is what it's going to be this week. The fuel numbers. I absolutely love that. The fact that he bothers to do that for me is incredible. So keep the messages coming. I'm very happy to chat to you guys. Dan Hall, 16 in front here of Jeff Thomas, who we're on board with. Jeff Thomas, continuing to push forward now. He's up 2 spots. Remember, he lost a few at the start of the race. So this is his comeback fight now. Dan Hall's up 11 spots into the top 16, and just behind his teammate Brenton O'Brien, who's having a lovely run now, although Brenton hasn't made his second stop. Michael Stewart does stop for his second stop now. So Michael Stewart in the pit lane for HSR. And a shout out to all the HSR guys tonight, of course, also flying that hashtag on the cars. They've been the blade for Balin, hashtag. And please continue to check that out. You can see on the back of that car. There it is. We'll zoom in there. Memory of Balin Stewart. So we'll keep pushing on that, and I'll tell you what, this Hypersonic Racing team, they're quick. Dumbrell's up into second now, flying the flag for them, and look who's right behind him. Jamie McKnight, P3, only stopped once, but what a drive from the back of the grid. Served that one race ban for a bit of an outburst. He got a slap on the wrist from the Stewarts. He got a week off, a week of detention, being a naughty boy, and he's come back tonight with a rear of grid start. That was the second part of his penalty from race control. He's come out with a fantastic result, which should be, I think, a top 10s. Tim Nicol. He's got a Mr. after his name. I always say McNichol. Tim Nicol off the track. Gets back on okay. It's been another clean race. We haven't seen a safety car. We saw the blown motor for Greg Favell, but everything else has been relatively clean. Not a lot to write home about for the Stewarts tonight. I think they'll be able to knock off a little bit earlier. They tend to have to stay up for hours during all the protests, and people that say, such and such hit me here, can go and check it out. Tonight, it looks like they might get themselves a bit of sleep as wheel-to-wheel, banging wheels. It's Sharp and Smart. Smart on the inside, Sharp around the outside, up to the top of the hill. They bang wheels again. So this is good racing. We don't mind a little bit of banging as long as they don't take each other out. And it's Sharp just in front. Smart doesn't want to have a bar of that. He says, I'm coming through. Out of my way. and he gets about a car length in front. It's a bit of an overlap. It's not probably enough to turn in. And Sharp late on the brakes. He says, nah, you're not coming through, smarty boy. You're hanging back there, and I'm taking this 6th place. So what a great little battle that was. And Greg Sharp, with the elbows as wide can be, gleaming in the sunlight here, has held on to that 6th place. McKnight in the pits now from P2. Will Wilson reckons that McKnight should start at the back of the grid every week. He goes full Brocky. I like that. Safety car would spice it up, says Brenton Nishke as well. I agree. I'm always there for a late safety car, especially now when a lot of the drivers, well, the majority of the drivers have made their 2nd stop. I think it's just Stephen Kennedy in the top 10 that hasn't. And of course, your race leader and Darren Crosby also yet to make their 2nd stop. But imagine if we got a safety car now and Dumbrell can just sneak in for a quick pit stop. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? He's losing a little bit of time. He was losing a bit of time to Crosby, but now he's just eked that out again. So the gap is just on 18 seconds back to Crosby. So where will this put Dumbrell? I'm trying to think. He's going to need at least probably 24 seconds of fuel in the stop. So that's a stationary time. So I'm thinking probably maybe 24 stationary, add probably another 5 to 10 for trundling down the pit lane, maybe an extra 8 or so seconds. So I reckon he's going to come out around 7th or 8th place, Michael Dumbrell. And I reckon he'll be ruining that little spin he had earlier in the race as he goes into the pits now. So what do I say, 7th or 8th? Let's see how close I am on that little calculation. So he comes into the pits, and it's about 31 seconds back to 8th. So let's see how this pans out. This will move, well, Darren Crosby surely has to stop as well. Here he goes. Is he going to the pit lane? He is. So Crosby, I'm not sure if they've got to be within that white line before they turn in. He locks up the brakes on the way in. Stewie Hall goes through to regain the lead of the race, and Mark Duggan's right with him. So this is on now for the race win. Sharp's in P3, Christian Smart P4, and all of a sudden the top 5 are covered by 6.6 seconds. Where's Dumbrell? He's just coming out of the lane now. I said 7th or 8th, didn't I? He's going to come out 7th. Will he lose the spot to Craig Friend? I think he may. No, he does. Yes, he does. So Craig Friend gets through to 8th place for Dumbrell, and he's 20.8 seconds behind the leader. He gets the position straight back though. So on cold tyres, he says, look, I'm coming through, see ya. And off he goes. So nice job, Michael Dumbrell. Taking a little bit of a risk there. He put the pedal to the metal, and he got through. The Evolution Racing Team driver, Dan Hall, under attack still. Jeff Thomas has got through into 14th. So Thomas done a good job there. I'm not sure if he got those overtakes done in the pit lane or on the racetrack. He's definitely skipping forward. Fantastic effort tonight. Dan Hall under immense pressure from McCune, and that's one driver that can apply the screws, is Scott McCune. We're on board with him now. Up under the hill. Sometimes you can see the planes taking off from the airport in the distance here on iRacing. Other times you can't, as we watch him get right underneath the rear wing of Dan Hall's True Force rear spoiler. No contact, good clean racing. Once again, deep on the brakes and within millimetres of making contact. He goes on to the back straightaway. Tucks out of the toe. Gets a little bit of clear air across the nose of that car. Kennedy's in the pits now for his final stop. Oversteer as they turn into the chicane. Absolutely flat out, these drivers. And, well, they're trying everything at this late stage of the race. McKnight's up into 9th now. Moves up another position, watching the battle between Dan Hall and McCune for 15th place. It's a mega battle as well. And Jeff Thomas, who's done so well just in front of them, goes through the final corner to start lap 48. So we're ticking them down now, lap 48 of 63. It's a longish race tonight, 250 kilometres for round number 9. And we're getting towards the end of the calendar as well. With this is the calendar for next season. So we're starting to focus on this a little bit now. June 16th, we're off to Belle Isle, kick off season 12, Le Mans. That's going to be so cool. 22 laps around that famous circuit on the 23rd of June. Then Oran Park, 30th of June. It's been a while since they've visited Oran Park with 40 cars in the top split. That is going to be horrendous. Then you got Laguna Seca, Sonoma, Monza, Sebring, Phillip Island on August the 4th, Suzuka, the Nordschleife. 10 laps around the Nordschleife. What was Ben Anthony thinking? That is going to be absolutely incredible. Imola and Alden Park to round out season number 12. So it's a massive pleasure to be able to bring you this V8 Veterans on a Thursday, Friday night. Don't forget, tomorrow night we do the second split. And then, of course, John Van Ree does the third split straight after that for Wodonga Karts and Parts. So plenty going on and plenty of supercar action as Gamble now fights with Fran. This is for 7th place. Gamble has a look to the inside. He'll try and get through here if he can. You just see Fran get better drive on the outside of the corner, but down the hill, I reckon Scotty's going to have a go. And he does. So Scott Gamble moves himself up into the top 7. Nice overtake, that one, textbook. And Gamble on debut in the top split. I know he's been here before years ago, but it's been years, literally. And he's back now, elevated into the top split. Jay McKnight in the background as well. McKnight has a shot, and he gets through on Craig Friend. Craig Friend has just dropped off the pace a little bit here. Will Wilson says 10 laps around the North Life. That'll be a 34-hour stream. I think I may need help that night. I think I might have to try and get someone to come and co-commentate with me. Try and twist the Sandman's arm. Yeah, it's going to be... Oh, contact there. That was burn into the back of Nickel, wasn't it? These guys are having a bit of a ding-dong. And that was definitely contact. Look how much time he's been taken out of Nickel here too. Ty Burn took 4.3 seconds, then a second, then a second 0.3, 1.3, 2 laps in a row. And a 10th on the previous lap as they started to fight. Now he gets an overlap and alongside. That should be job done, but wow, they're having a bit of a biff, these two. And Nickel drops back behind Preston as well. Now Preston gets through on him for 19th place. Nickel back to 20th. Gets a good run out there. And plenty of smoke. And look at the KFC car. Stephen Banks now with all the parts bolted back onto the car. Oh, spinner. Nickel out of shape. Gathered it up before hitting anyone else. But lost a lot of momentum to Preston and Byrne in front. So, yeah, they're now an hour and 15 minutes in. Starting to lose a bit of concentration here and there. And Tim Nickel under immense pressure. Once again, a little bit of a ding there from Byrne into the pits. He's got to get that fixed. So I reckon he's got damage. Hence why that car's lurching all over the place. Duggan takes 2/10 out of the race leader's lead on that lap. You can see lap 47 to lap 49, it was all in the favour of Stuart Hall. But that one there went in the favour of Mark Duggan, lap 50. What has he got here? Will the Nova Motorsport drivers fight, or will they just settle for a 1-2 for the team? What's the hierarchy in this team between Duggan and Hall? I would like to know. Are we going to see a big battle? Could we still get a late safety car? I think it would just be incredible. A late safety car now would be a broadcaster's dream. It is quite spread out tonight. Let's have a look at that track map. Just to show the distance, you can see pretty much the whole track is covered with cars. It just shows they're spread out. As Paul Preston comes in for another pit stop now, outside of the top 20 now. But a big spread of cars and not a lot of close battles to write home about. This is Hansen down in 20th place, chasing Stephen Banks as Michael Stewart's behind him. Lost Michael Stewart's race cam, sadly. We'll have a quick look at one of our other drivers though, and that is Mr. Cairns, who's just trundling around 32nd position tonight with the brand new webcam set up for us, so that's fantastic. Hey, have a look on the big screen. There it is. I'm on board with Damien now, and he's got a cool little setup there. You can see the iPad on the right-hand side. That'll have his fuel numbers on it. And I think he's also got his keyboard there, but he's also then got above him a telemetry screen. He's got a dashboard just in front of the wheel. I'm trying to work out what wheel that is. Is that a SimiCube or whatever they call it, a SimCube? got his can of Coke or his bottle of Coke or whatever it is to the left of him, or it might be a bottle of water. Going the healthy route. And going through the gears there. Grabs another gear. It looks like a sort of Thrustmaster shifter. It is. It's one of the ones you can shift between an H pattern and a sequential shift from memory. Scott Gamble and Jamie McKnight. Here's a couple of old buddies that are, I don't know if they're buddies or not, but here's a couple of guys that would have had many a battle back in the day, and they're about to have another one now. All these years later, let's jump on board with Jamie McKnight and enjoy this, because I reckon there'll be one aspect of this. Scott Gamble, he'll see that name, Jamie McKnight. He knows he's won 8 championships. He'll see him in the mirrors and on the relative and say, I want to keep him out. Oh, McKnight has a look. That was almost a lunge, almost contact. Somehow, they didn't make contact. That actually hurt McKnight. He drops back a little bit. But wow, he did have a big look, didn't he? He just flirted with the back end of the car. Didn't make contact, thankfully, as they head onto the pit straight to start lap 53. There's nothing in it. Jamie will want to get through if he can. They cross the line. And we go again. So 0.5 of a second the gap. McCune as well, still battling with Dan Hall. Can't get through. Wherever you look, there's an Evolution Racing Team car with the elbows sharpened, the elbows out wide, holding track position. So fantastic job. So Dan Hall's made up 14 spots in the race too. Look at those gains on the left-hand side of your screen. 23 for McKnight, 14 for Dan Hall. Fantastic drive. And then we go back to this battle between Gamble and McKnight. I want to see who's out on top of this one. I reckon you've got a couple of pretty stubborn drivers here, and Gamble won't want to give this position up. A lot of people just dance out of the way for Jamie. He does make a lot of genuine overtakes, I've got to say. If he watches this back, he'll say, what are you talking about? But he does make some incredible overtakes, but he's also got this little factor, I think, where a lot of drivers will see him coming and they'll go, whoa, I can't keep with this pace, I'll just let him go through. And then you get other guys that just go, no, what are we going on? We got a safety car here. Look, I reckon we've got a safety car. We do. Safety car boards and flags on lap 54. Incredible. Incredible. This is going to be great. So what's happened here, let's have a quick look. See if we can pick up why. It was Tim Nicol and maybe Visma as well. I'm trying to see if they're still stuck out on the racetrack. So where's Tim Nicol? He's in the pits as the cars unlap themselves. So wow, now we've got a showdown to the end of the race, and this is going to be incredible. Let's have a look at the incident here. I think it must have been for Tim Nicol. Let's have a quick look at that now. So he already had damage on the car. He goes across the curb. Oh, it blew the motor. So there you go. Another blown motor tonight for Tim Nicol. Well, for Tim Nicol, it's his first one. Anthony Visma also had an incident at the same time. This is why we've got a safety car, because Nicol stopped on the racetrack. What happened to Visma? Oh, it's just a slow spin. Oh, and then a crash as well. And was that a blown motor as well? Or was that just they use the same sound for blown motors? Incredible. So that's why we got the safety car. It was for the Tim Nicol blown motor. And wow, this changes the whole complexity of this race now, because lap 54, we got 10 to go. And they're all behind the Porsche safety car. So, wow, Dave Coleman out there, he did have to get the car out in the end. We're on board now with that Porsche Bay 21 safety car. And Brenton Nishke, if you're still watching, he said a safety car would spice it up. And that's exactly what we now have. So, there is Dave Coleman in the Porsche safety car. Just letting a couple of lap cars go through now. Motorsport. Big thanks to all our admin and officials that give their time and do such a great job at doing just that. Things like safety cars and keeping all the guys in check, guys and girls out there. So safety car. Let's have a quick look at the strategy here as well. I think this will mean everyone's good for fuel. But I can tell you the tyre wear may have come into this a little bit. Greg Sharp, he's got the oldest tyres. The guy with the newest tyres is actually Michael Dumbrell in 6th place. Mark Duggan's, his tyres are lap 42 was his pit lap versus a lap 39 stop for his teammate in front. So Duggan's got tyres that are 3 laps younger on that car. Michael Dumbrell, his tyres 7 laps younger than the race leader. What can he do? He's sitting back here in 6th place. He's got Scott Gamble behind him. They both stopped on lap 36 for Gamble, lap 45 for McKnight. So McKnight's got pretty fresh tyres as well. And his tyres are 6 laps younger than the race leaders. So Jamie McKnight in P8. Can he get himself up into the top 5 from here? He's got Gamble, Dumbrell, Young to try and get past. What is your money on Stuart Hall, who's led this race from the get-go? He will be very, very nervous now. Duggan, Sharp, Smart, Young, Dumbrell, Gamble, McKnight, Friend, and Varga. The top 10. How about that for some names? Evac ZN. Not sure if that's how you say it, but hello from Twitch. Nice to have you watching tonight. Welcome aboard. I'm not sure many people over there on Twitch. What have we got? 2, 3 people watching on Twitch? I never check, to be honest with you. But hello to our Twitch viewers. It's always lovely to hear from someone on Twitch. But we're heading now into what will be an exciting 6 or 7 lap dash to the end of this race with a blown motor for Tim Nicol. And, this man Dumbrell sitting here in 6th place. What will he be thinking right now? He's in the car, he's talking to his teammates, he's probably thinking, right, what's the plan, guys? We're just going to punch it. My money's on McKnight, but I'm a terrible gambler, says Will Wilson. I don't think he'll get to a podium, to be honest with you. But we've seen some crazy things in the last 24 hours of sim racing. If you haven't, go and check out that Pro Invitational Supercar series. Last 3 or 4 laps, it was just an absolute incredible race. Porsche safety car gets off into the distance. It's out of here, so we're going to see it now burst off towards the pits, and everyone else will get ready to go back to green flag racing. So you can just see on the right of your screen the Porsche safety car driven tonight by Dave Coleman heading back to the lane. There it goes. Big thanks to Bay 21 and all our sponsors, SimSpec Engineering, and of course Quantum Tint Solutions for their fantastic support for this series. Taipan Events for hosting us over on YouTube as well. Who is going to win this race? Keep an eye on Sharp, I reckon, says Brendan Nishki as well. Here's the restart. We go back to green flag racing. Lap 56. And, there's a crash in the background. There's a big crash. And Crosby's in the wall. I think it was Crosby in the fence. And who else was involved in that? Was it Vargs, maybe? There was 2 or 3 cars in the wall, in the background off the restart. Stephen Varga is one of them. And Crosby, I think, was the other one. They've kept running those drivers. How that didn't cause another safety car is beyond me. That was a huge hit in the fence. We'll get a replay on that in a second. Stewie Hall got a great jump, half a second, as he got away from the restart. And, wow. Incredible. I'm trying to see if... let's have a quick look at that. We'll go to a quick replay before we go back to live. We don't want to miss this action. This is the restart, so we'll just pick up what happened in front. So Crosby, I think it had already happened. You can see the witness marks in the background. Just watch this. So they just made contact. I think Varga came across into Crosby and bang into the fence. How did they make such an impact in the fence and then keep going? They're both still in the top 20. Incredible. So that was the restart, and safety cars can breed safety cars. We know that very well. But out in front, Hall, Duggan, and Sharp. There he is, P3. And Smart behind him, then Young, Dumbrell, Gamble, and McKnight. Gamble still holding out McKnight here. So this is good. They are flying along very, very well. Gamble, McKnight, then Friend, Spriggs. There's another crash in the background, is there? I see, that's Brenton O'Brien's gone around. And Paul Preston's been involved in that. So that's unfortunate. Cameron Veacock saying, yeah, safety cars breed safety cars. We've seen now 2 incidents from the restart lap, and it looks like a couple of those drivers there. Craig Favell back in the pits. It's just been a night to forget for him, hasn't it? Out in front, though, Stewie Hall, Mark Duggan, Sharp, Smart and Young, your top 5. Straight away, there's quite a field spread, though. 2.7 seconds covering the top 5. Dumbrell, he's trying to stay attached here to the rear of Paul Young, but it's about 2 or 3 car lengths. Then you got Gamble. McKnight is definitely towing on the back here of Gamble. He wants better than a P8. He's up 23 spots. He wants to make it a top 5 tonight. There's race control messages being fired out as well, as we may see some late penalties added to this. My Discord for the man over on Twitch, RACESTARS TV. I'll try and just go and find us on Facebook. That's probably the easiest thing on mid-commentary here. I'm a single man show, so it's a bit hard to multitask for those sorts of things. But yeah, find us. If you can find me on RACESTARS TV on Facebook, send us a message, man. That's the way I'll have a look at your portfolio of graphics. I think that's what you're trying to sell me. I'm always keen to have a look. As we see Dan Hall here, McCune and Jeff Thomas in this little battle. Jeff Thomas, I've got to say, that's a good job. Back into 13th place. Back into the mix of things. Good recovery for him. He did, I think he was back as far as 20th or 21st at one point tonight, so that's great. Greg Sharp's under some pressure here from Christian Smart as well. Smart, that telltale braking. He's so late on the brakes, Christian Smart. It's always so good to watch. It always makes me actually... I have to take a breath. I'm like, is he going to hit the back of that car? No, and he somehow stops. Incredible. As we see them on to this back straightaway now. And, well, there's the gap between Sharp and Smart. It's 0.3 of a second. Greg Sharp trying to hold on for a podium. That is the final podium position. Paul Young's there. Dumbrell's not too far behind. Then Gamble dropping back a little bit. Craig Friends dropped off the back now. The gap between 8th and 9th is much bigger. Here comes your race leader, Stuart Hall, still holding on by 0.6 of a second. I thought because there was a 3-lap difference in tyre wear that maybe Mark Duggan was going to have the advantage on the restart, but Stuart Hall has just continued this form tonight. They've dropped Greg Sharp the top 2. The Nova Motorsport cars look like they are in winning ways tonight. And Sharp, he's going to desperately try and hold on to this podium. We see another race come down to the wire like we saw last night. Top 5 crossing the line within half a second or something ridiculous. But tonight, as we jump on, let's jump in with Mr. Dumbrell. We haven't done any visor cam tonight, so let's quickly jam out a visor cam with Dumbrell as the dust gets kicked up again by Paul Young. He heads up the hill. Watch this corner. It's completely blind when you're in the driver's seat. You try and pick the apex there. Skim across the dirt, you've got to bring it back to a second apex and you pinch that one before heading down this back straightaway. You're focused on the car in front, trying to get into the toe, and then the braking zone. So important to get right for this little flip-flop chicane, which takes us into the GP part, the extra part of the circuit, which a lot of the time people don't race on iRacing. And then hard on the brakes through the double right-hander. You can see the race. Oh, someone's gone wide. That Sharp has gone wide in front. And Christian Smart's got through now, up into P3. So there you go, Smart's up another position. They're going to go wheel to wheel. He's around the outside. Sharp goes back on the inside. They continue the fight. And how about that? It's on now. Christian Smart, we're on board with him. And car 26, pit lane penalty. Incident on lap 56. So car 26 will be sent through the pit lane. That is Brenton O'Brien, unfortunately. So Christian Smart eventually gets the job done. And Stephen Varga was it? Let's see what Stephen Varga's up to on the mic. So there's a little bit of chat out there. Car 27 is Stephen Varga. I wonder if it was car 27 or 26. Got that wrong, didn't I? Stephen Varga's car 868. So car 26, which I said was Brenton O'Brien. It's not Brenton O'Brien after all. So there's a few penalties being handed out now late stages of the race. And the car 26, it is bred today, Brian. Right in the first place. Oh my God. Right, back to the action here. Let's get the telemetry up on the screen. Lap 60 of 63. We're on board with your race leader, his teammate, half a second behind. Christian Smart now into the podium position. He's got Young for company. Sharp's dropped back an extra spot now. Wouldn't poor Young love to get a podium on debut for the new team? This is a brand new team now. It's Emu Sim Racing and PRA have now merged to become this BAR team. And BAR, that reminds me of a Formula One team that came into the sport, dominated. All right, here we go. It's on. 2 laps to go at the end of this one. Stuart Hall, I think he's done enough. 0.6 of a second. And his teammate just doesn't look like he's got an answer. Maybe they've just already said in Discord to each other or however they're communicating. Let's just stay like this. Let's just bring it home a 1-2. There's no point fighting. Cam says Stuart Hall is a machine tonight. He's incredibly quick. And we've got a car off the track. Paul Young, unfortunately, car 42 gets a pit lane penalty as well. The 042 will be sent to the lane for a late one, so that's Chris Barrage, unfortunately for him. And yeah, Banter Alliance Racing is the BAR, so fantastic merger. We're going to see good things come out of this stable, I reckon, over the next... whoa, what's going on here for Stuart Hall? Stuart Hall's disappeared. Surely not a disconnection. That will be heartbreaking. If that's Stuart Hall and he's disconnected with a couple of laps to go, he will be absolutely devastated. He's dropping down the order. He's gone. He's completely disappeared off our timing screen. He's 19th. He's now 20th. And he's out of the race. That is absolutely heartbreaking for Stewie Hall. Nova Motorsport. That brings Christian Smart up into second. Greg Sharp now third. Dumbrell looking to, well, he's in fourth. He could get a podium. McKnight gets ahead of Gamble now, up into the top 5. Wow. There's Will Wilson. That's the worst disconnect I've ever seen. How unlucky is that? As Gamble almost into the back of McKnight down the hill. Incredibly close between those two. Was there contact? It almost looked like it. McKnight, can you believe, up 26 spots into the top 5. I would not have picked that at the start of this race. I thought he might have got top 10. But top 5 for McKnight, that's next level. But you got to feel so much for Hall, who led every lap pretty much of this race. He's gone out of the race with a disconnection by the looks of things, and he'll be heartbroken at that. That is never fun for anyone, and even for us watching, you don't want to see that. He's driven such a perfect race tonight, and I reckon he should be sending a pretty rude letter to whoever his internet company is or internet provider. It's released Mark Duggan though. Mark Duggan for a win with 1 lap to go. Can he bring it home? He's got Christian Smart 1.3 seconds behind. The white flag drops. 1 to go. Dumbrell's holding on to 4th. I think Greg Sharp's probably far enough ahead with a lap to go. And here we go. 1 more circuit of this Donnington racetrack to confirm our top 3 for round number 9 of this V8 Veteran Series. All the drivers over the age of 40. One of the best leagues you'll ever find on iRacing, on sim racing in general. The only catch is you got to be old. You got to be over 40. And how good is it? Gee, they fight well, they race well, and they'll also all gather, I'm sure, around Hall tonight and Stewie Hall and just say, man, that is terrible luck. Showing him down in 31st place on lap 60.82. His internet said no more. You're having the rest of the night off. Can you believe it? 2 laps to go. And imagine the words that are being said right now in that sim racing room. Through the final couple of corners, this has been incredible. He's only got to go through 1 more hairpin turn. The back end of the car slides out. And Mark Duggan, this is going to be a win that he'll cherish, although he'll feel sorry for his teammate. You take a win when you can. And the checker flag drops. And Mark Duggan wins round number 9, the top split of the V8 veterans. Christian Smart gets second. Greg Sharp on the podium gets third. Dumbrell, look at McKnight weaving his way into fifth. He's happy with that. Scotty Gamble on debut in the top split gets sixth. Friend gets seventh. Young gets eighth. Spriggs comes home in ninth. 10th for Dan Hall. And McCune, Thomas, Kennedy, Visma, Banks, Hansen, Stewart, Crosby, Favell and Damien Cairns rounds out your top 20 as he crosses the line there, flashing the headlights. Wow, that's a race and a half, and well, we're going to wrap it all up shortly. We'll talk to the drivers, bring him in for some feedback. I reckon Mark Duggan will be happy with that. He'll also be a little bit sad. Like I said, his teammate's gone out with 2 to go with a disconnection. But you take it when you can. The Nova Motorsports car takes the win tonight. You're at Donnington. Live on RACESTARS TV. We'll come back shortly with the interviews and we'll wrap it up with the full results. Don't go anywhere. There's your race results up on the screen now, and Mark Duggan confirmed 1.2 seconds as the winner over Christian Smart and Greg Sharp, your top 3. Dumbrell gets 4th. McKnight, what a drive from the back for 5th place tonight. Scott Gamble 6th, he'll be happy with that as well. Then it was Craig Friend, Paul Young, Jason Spriggs and Dan Hall, your top 10. McCune, Thomas Kennedy, Visma, then Banks, Kenson, Stewart and Crosby down there in 18th place. We go down further. 19th went to Flavell. Cairns got 20th with Goosey, Shannon, Vanderkran, Byrne, Ritchie, Preston, and then Varga down in 27th. Barrage, Horton, O'Brien 30th. And it was Hall, Stuart Hall disconnected with 2 laps to go. 31st, Greg Favell, night he'd like to forget probably. 32nd, Tim Nickel, Rick Cloister, and thanks to Dave Coleman and Chastity over in race control tonight. Let's talk to the drivers. Go ahead across to the broadcast room now and we'll bring him in. Like I said, it's probably a little bit of mixed feelings here. You take it when you can, but your teammate, he must be heartbroken. But Mark, you drove a great race tonight. You drove a great race, mate. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. And you're right, I'm absolutely devastated for Stuart. He made a bit of a mistake with 3 or 4 laps to go, and I said, come on, you're right. And he said, what, you're not coming past me? I said, no, come on, it's your race. And then the second last lap, he said, like going into Melbourne hairpin with almost 1 lap to go, he said, I think I've disconnected, and it was just devastating. So, but, you know, I haven't had a win for a while, so I guess, you know, under them circumstances it is a bit sad or hollow, but a win's a win, and I felt like I drove a pretty good race, so yeah, happy with that.
I was saying throughout the broadcast, mate, that you've had a rough trot, you know, coming back from injury. You're finally just finding that form again, and the speed you've got in the car was incredible to watch, and it was a Nova Motorsport, you know, show at the front for every lap up until that disconnection. So it's very sad, but also great positives for the team.
Oh, absolutely, and that's one of the reasons why I asked Stuart to come and join us, because he is a sensational driver. He's clean, he's fast, he's a good qualifier, he's got everything you want in a driver, and we were so happy to snatch him over and welcome him to Nova Motorsports. And yeah, my heart goes out to you, Stu, but you know, you've got the speed, the win's coming, mate.
100%. Christian, good drive, mate. You had to work pretty hard there with some late overtakes as well, but P2 tonight, well done.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Yeah, thank you, Luke.
And mate, the car, the Synergy Sim Racing, the black and white Wave Runner car looks fantastic out there. Just talk us through the race, mate. That late safety car would have got a few people worried as well.
Yeah, mate, I was so happy when that safety car came out. Not for track position or anything. It was just to release some pressure off my left knee. I was in pain.
It's a tough racetrack, grueling racetrack, isn't it?
It certainly is. I haven't had a lot of practice here this week. I've had a few other things on the go, and yeah, but it is a track that I do like, and it's, you know, with all the different undulations and that, you've got to be really on the brake pedal to work your way around this track.
Oh, great drive tonight. And Greg, mate, P3, you're right there. You had some good little battles, and one with Christian in particular, but now you're a third on the podium, mate.
Yeah, he wouldn't go away, Christian. I was driving my hardest. I think I burnt my tyres a bit trying to put some time on him, and that restart was just, the safety car for me was the worst thing because it put him right on my arse, and I knew he had a bit more pace than me, and I was trying to go as deep as I could into the hairpin, and I just went a little bit too deep, and he got me.
Well, great racing all round from all three of you tonight. Let's do some thank yous before we wrap it up. Mark, we'll start with you for Nova Motorsports. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, thank me teammates at Nova, Stuart, my brother Todd, Matty Parker, track racer turned race wheels, and big congratulations to Christian. Yeah, he didn't get a lot of practice, but he got up to speed really quick. And yeah, great to see Greg on the podium. He's a great driver and always got speed, and probably has a bit too much bad luck. So yeah, happy to see the boys on the podium. And yeah, thanks to you, Luke, and thanks to Ben and all the team in the background.
Great words. And Christian, P2 tonight, who would you like to thank?
Yeah, first of all, Mark, congrats on P1, and Greg, awesome battle, and quick apology for last week. Yeah, try not to repeat that again. Try and race as clean and hard as possible, but unfortunately I made a misjudgment of error there. But I'd also like to thank Jamie for an awesome setup. All the time he puts in, and
absolutely,
and he charged through the field tonight, and big congrats to him. I reckon he would have got the Hard Charger award for tonight.
Yeah, 26 spots, yeah.
There. So yeah, well done to him. Everyone else in the team that of mine, SSR and United Synergy combined there. Varg's there. He's always helping me out as well. All the boys over at SSR. Also like to thank you, Luke, for putting on a great stream every week. You go out and above and beyond, and Ben, Anthony, and the crew that put it all together. Also like to thank our sponsors. We've got DR Epoxy, DGD Custom, Australian Laminating Company there, DM Cinematography, DO Photo, Posie's Mechanical Repairs, It's a Dog's Life, Quality Dog Kennels, JK Science New Line, 88 Media, Aftershock PC, West End Mazda, Too Easy Finance, Quantum Tip, and Bin the Blade for Balin there. But let's not forget him.
That's it, mate. Good words, and what a great drive tonight. Well done, and good to mention your teammate too. Yeah, 26 spots up into the top 5. He does get the Hard Charger tonight, so well done.
Good day. Thank you.
Greg Sharp, P3. Who would you like to thank, mate?
Yeah, first, congrats to Mark, well deserved, and Christian, great battle. Did you hit me last week, Christian? I've forgotten about it already, mate, but that's okay. Luke, yeah, you do a great job, and Jamie, of course, for the setup. So we'd be in trouble if someone wasn't doing them. So Ben Wright, I don't know any of my other sponsors. I hardly get up here, so I don't bother to take any notice of them. Yeah, it's cool.
Well done, mate.
I'm happy to be on the podium again.
No, great drive tonight. We're looking forward to more of that. So our top 3 tonight: Mark Duggan with a great win for Nova Motorsports, SSR's Christian Smart P2, and Greg Sharp for Kota Sim Sports P3. Well done, guys.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Luke.
Cheers, guys. All right, we'll see you next week. That's it for tonight, and big thanks to our top 3 for jumping in for a quick chat there, and good racing. Donnington, tomorrow night we do it with split 2. So see what happens there. We had the 1 safety car tonight. Will split 2 get through without a safety car? Will they have more than 1? Sometimes they have 2 or 3 or 4. We'll wait and see. Thanks for everyone that tuned in tonight and was part of the broadcast. Don't forget to come along 8 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll do it all again. Thanks Brenda, Deborah, Christine, Keith and Tyson for the stars, and everyone else that was commenting away, keeping the action plenty between yourselves and me. I really enjoy that. So thank you. My name's Luke. This is RACESTARS TV. I'll catch you soon. Take care. Good night.